What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Metal Maniacs podcast. I'm your host, Jay Ingersoll, and I'm here, as always, with my co-host.
It's your boy, Mod. What's good, Jay?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, good to see you.
A little Saturday podcast action going on here.
Yeah, missing my cartoons, goddammit.
Yeah. So today, we squeezed in this podcast because we have some special things going on with our brothers from another mother. If he dies, he dies. Thanks for coming on the show, boys.
Yeah,
Thank you for having us.
Here.
We got a lot of stuff to talk about. You guys, so B-Man and Dane, you guys were on episode 10, so you guys have been supporting the podcast since the early beginning, and we appreciate that. I know we go way back, longer than your mama's butt crack, but
no, we're proud of you dudes, man.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Cool. Well, thank you.
It's a good metal podcast. That's for sure.
Well, we appreciate you guys coming out here. Unfortunately, Dane couldn't make it, but that's okay. We got the brother in the place, Ephriam, so it's cool to have you out here, man. Good to have you on the show too, Tommy,
Absolutely,
for the first
my buddy.
time.
Yeah, you bet.
So,
Tommy.
One day we'll have all four guys.
Yeah,
in the same
the
room.
next time something happens, we'll make
The
sure we get you
stars
guys
align.
back out again.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I feel like we got quite a bit to talk about today. So I don't know if there's any tight timelines. I do have a show today, but we're going to make everything we need to talk about on this podcast work
Sounds
today.
good.
So first thing I want to say, B-Man, happy belated birthday, my
Hey,
man.
thanks, man. The big 4-3, the one we've been waiting on.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Make it look
thank
good.
you.
I'm coming
thank
up
you.
on it. We're both coming up on it.
Yeah, real couple weeks here.
Yo.
Yep.
So the last time Dies was on the show, we talked about the return of Dies, and I will say, all of a sudden you guys return, and I know bands
Yeah.
make returns, but then there's all these other bands
It's
return.
like a
So
wave.
you guys are responsible for Kitty getting back together. I swear to fucking God, like
Yeah.
Tommy
Amen to
reached out
that.
to him.
Amen to that. I love Kitty. Closet Kitty fan right
Yeah.
now.
I- like,
there's,
I'll-
Yeah.
there's big 20-year reunion vibes going on right now. It's
Yeah.
wild.
There is.
Yeah. Metal in general is having
What
a
was that,
resurgence.
like 05, and a little before generation of good,
Mhm.
still going to hall shows and having bands, before it kind of fell off a cliff. So it makes sense, the
Yeah.
cycle.
The midlife crisis of metal.
Yeah, exactly. Perfectly said.
when you realize you need it in your life. So
Right.
after 20 years and however long of a hiatus, it's time to come back and jam,
Yeah.
So that was the last time we spoke. We were gearing up for that show.
Mhm.
And let's talk a little bit about that right off rip. So you guys let me have the pleasure of hanging out with y'all before the show, getting some footage of the show. So we got some footage of the show, and you guys kicked ass there.
Thank
I
you.
know we were hanging out and I told you guys that, but man, you guys fucking ruled that comeback. So
Dude, thank you.
yeah.
It felt really good. I was on a high for like a week afterwards, like a legit, like natural high. It was awesome.
I was so nervous
Yep.
for that fucking show, dude.
Yeah, we all were.
Like all
Yeah,
sweaty and
definitely
clammy.
never seen us all that nervous about it. We set the bar pretty high for ourselves with that show, just
Yep.
thinking and then just watching it all unfold and the ticket sales kind of ticking up and up and up, and then it sold out, and
Yep,
we knew
that was
like
wild.
once
Yeah.
that kind of happened, it sold out. That was like a little bit of a relief
It
for me
was.
at least. Like,
Yep.
okay, we did that,
Yep.
and like we're just gonna do our thing now. But it was so cool to see all
Yeah.
the old heads, just everybody from back in the day, and yeah, just being up on stage. It was
It
pretty
was.
weird.
It was
to do that
overwhelming,
again.
actually, at times. For
I
real.
felt like all of us set a new bar as far as our playing too. Not to be like that, but we played good.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I was,
we
I was the
sloppy as
most
hell, dude.
happy about that. I was like, because Old Dies was just fucking tweeting all over the place, dude.
trying to
and just
tune it in.
thinking it's sweet, but it probably wasn't because of substance,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
Right, sure.
So like to get up there and we jammed and just normal dudes and it sounded good. I'm like, we
Yep.
just raised our bar a little bit, We should do that all the time. Play good,
Yeah, getting back together was like the biggest hurdle was just relearning all of those old songs, and so
Yeah.
getting that under our belt, then after the show, it felt like, okay, we can
Yep.
relax. We know how to play our old stuff again. We got it back under our
Exactly.
fingers. And then
Muscle
we can just
memory
kind of start
is back.
moving into, that's when the ideas really started flowing, was after
Yeah.
that show. And
Oh, yeah.
it was cool just to get that out of the way.
Yeah.
It also helped that Addison did sound because he fucking killed that, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
he
did.
did.
Yeah,
He
when
knows us as a band was in the band.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he gets it.
Yeah, he was like our Mickey in the corner. You
He
know?
was, yep,
you
yep.
know,
Come on,
rock, get up, you
Yeah.
son of a bitch.
I don't want to talk down on anything else, but I seen a show at the Pyramid Scheme a few weeks. Well, you and I went to that show. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
about a month later or whatever, and it was like the bar was set for the sound there at the show because you guys sounded awesome.
Yeah.
Then I got the mix to edit the video to it and everything, so it was just like, wow, this sounds badass.
Yeah, you could
You guys-
release that.
Yeah.
It's that good.
Yeah,
Yep.
you guys are great players anyway, but we saw some great bands and they're great players too, but the sound there was just shit. And I'm like, y'all need to hire Addison or something.
Yeah, full time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, shout out. My cousin.
Yeah. So, anything more to say about the Pyramid Scheme show? You guys got anything else you want to say about that? I just thought it was awesome. I mean,
We just
all
really
of our friends
appreciate
and-
people,
all of our friends coming out and coming together, and it was
people digging
like a
in and
celebration
getting in the
of
vibe.
a moment in time back in the day, and we all got it was like classic reunion. It was
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
I appreciate our fans and all our friends.
Yeah,
Really.
Yeah.
same.
And
That's
it feels-
about what it boils down to.
It feels so good to have just a nice permanent product to remember that from too, because
Yep.
that's something we didn't have the luxury of back in the day. Like,
Right.
we had a few random
Right.
video camera, shots of gigs and stuff, but we've never had anything like that really captured a live performance. And
Right.
that feels like something that we can feel pretty proud of moving forward. And
For
Yep.
sure.
have
Shout
that
out-
on our little page.
Shout out to Brent.
And you did a
too,
great
for,
job too, by the way.
Oh,
My
Yeah,
man.
you and Jeff Brandon.
The video, all the videos
Addison,
that came
everybody
out of that,
involved.
everyone that dude, I
Yeah.
was blown
Yeah.
away.
Yeah, our
at the
boys-
quality you can get, like,
Mhm.
oh man,
Our
Yeah.
boys from Dayton came up
Yeah.
and they
Yeah,
kinda
yeah.
did a little video of one of the songs
Wendell.
too.
shout
And-
out Shady Side,
Yeah,
Vinny and Wendell.
Vinny and
I was
Wendell
gonna say
were there.
Vinny, him and I were sharing some stuff back and forth. So
Right on.
that video he put together, like the actual music video,
Vinny.
that was cool. Little
Yeah.
ad of it or whatever. So, hell yeah,
Those guys are the shit.
yeah.
Brought
So-
us up to speed on our you can see dies shit versus old
Mm.
grainy, hard to find clips.
VHS
You know, like,
shoot
right.
up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, you know
VHS.
where I got that stash. You've
Yeah.
seen all that old ass shit that I got, right?
It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's barely watchable, but at least
It's
it's,
cool.
there.
It's there. It's some kind of
Yeah.
documentation.
So then we move forward, and then we got the Heart on Your Sleeve Fest, which Nick and I also got the pleasure to
Good times.
It
hang
was-
out there and do.
Good podcast, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't get all of your songs. We didn't put a production on as big as we did, but also
Yep.
the sound was a little weird in there.
It was a weird room.
Yeah.
No, it was
So-
cool though to see you interacting with all the bands and stuff.
I was just happy to see
Back
people
to
and
that
stuff.
podcast.
Yep,
Yeah.
that was great.
So that was a cool, almost another reunion vibe.
Absolutely.
Just kind of bringing everybody back together and
Yeah.
getting juiced up. So, and then now here we are right now and what we're going to talk about today. So we got a new song, right?
Correct.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So tell me about
Judas.
this song.
Yeah, I feel like we've been throwing riffs around here and there. Like I said, the focus coming into this was Pyramid Scheme, getting ready for that. But once we got that off our shoulders, we could relax and start messing with riffs a little bit more. And
Yep.
just kind of slowly started gravitating towards some ideas that sounded still like us, but just a little bit newer, and started running with it. And it all kind of happened pretty quickly with this song in particular.
Feels like it.
Yeah, we were kind of just joking around about how it actually was written over the 40 days of Lent. Like
It really was too, and it's called
Written,
Judas,
recorded,
and it's
yeah.
called Judas. Yeah.
Coincidentally.
and it's going to get released on our reunion day, kind of when we started. Like
Mhm.
that. That's just wild.
Yeah, it's pretty.
1 year.
Oh, recorded. We started on Ash Wednesday, and it was done on Easter.
Yeah, we
That's
went into the
crazy.
studio on Good Friday.
Yep.
Wow.
Which I don't know. I don't know if that's like a
Not
a
on
good
purpose,
thing
Nick
or a bad
Mod.
thing that we're
Right.
recording a
Yeah.
song called Judas
Just
on
a
Good
funny
Friday.
coincidence.
Yeah.
To be determined.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's
We're all
Especially-
super pumped about it.
yeah.
though.
The vocally, we're exploring some new territories for sure.
That'll be fun.
It'll be hard to pull off live, but with the miracle of backing tracks these days, you never know what you can pull
Cut
off.
it out.
yeah.
But yeah, because there's a lot of
Brent said no.
harmonies. Or teach Ephriam to sing, or Dane.
I-
one
yeah,
of
I
the
don't
two.
know.
So
Just give him
let's
the
get in
easiest
there.
line.
You can do it. It's not hard.
I was
do
gonna say,
that.
I'm sure you got this, Ephraim, as skilled as you are, buddy.
Exactly.
You got it.
No, but
Dr.
it's cool.
Rosales.
He just comes out and just.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Like King Diamond.
Finally.
That was in there that whole time,
Yeah.
man.
But Dane always jokes around about how we like unlocked like a cheat code basically, and really all it is like basic pre-production. Like, oh, look at
And song structure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
That's
having the
the-
luxury of the setup at Tom's house
Yeah.
and his experience.
We didn't
and
do that
knowledge
before. Like,
with
Right.
just how to
record it,
record
listen
and-
to it, or none of that.
Right.
Yeah, so
you
we're
know.
like doing scratch tracks and like
Yeah.
messing around with
Yep.
parts, and,
Tones and
Yeah.
yeah.
So you got a little setup at your house, Tom. Is that kind of what helped you guys drive this forward? That's what I'm hearing then, or
Yeah, it's convenient to have. I got the stuff for live practice,
Yeah.
set up with basic studio stuff, all the mics to do a 16 tracks or whatever. It's It's legit, but I don't use it as much as I probably should. I actually went to school for that stuff.
Okay.
In Madison, Wisconsin, back in '99.
Okay.
Yeah, so we never leveraged that piece of this
and I'm
skill set
lazy.
that we have right in front of us. And then so once he's like, I could just record these tracks and then we can fuck around with other shit over it.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, why haven't we been doing this the whole time?
I know.
It's honestly like added this just like fluid layer of
it makes it
songwriting
easier.
for us.
It's even a nice little sense of security too. Like I don't even know how to explain it, but yeah, you said
especially with like vocals, dude, being able to hear it and be like, that's what we're doing here with the music. That's what we want.
Yeah,
and then like, all right, let's try. You know what I mean? Like just taking a whole new route, dude.
Yeah.
Because before we would just, again in party mode most of the time, just write some riffs, dude, and they rock. We're the best, and add the vocals, and who gives a fuck, and like not care about the recording process, and not, and just Well,
a lot of what you guys are about is that really visceral, in the moment mentality, approach to things. Like we're going out there like like almost like 4 cavemen and just pounding our chest live. Like here we go, we fucking dare you to step,
dude. Judas is alive too, and you'll see it's
sweet.
Fucking ripping, dude.
I'm excited for it. I got to imagine though that now that you guys are like doing the setup at Tom's, you take it home and fuck with it a little bit, right? Like listen to it, practice.
Yeah.
Like work on your vocal melodies. Decide I'm singing here, I'm screaming here, I'm going to get backups here, and that wasn't happening in the past. Then.
Well, we didn't have modern technology back then. Like this kid sends a wave every day at like 7 a.m. Like got this new song. And he's learning how to use GarageBand and stuff on his phone. But it's awesome to see him that knew nothing about it before, like, and that needs to know about it because he's our like main songwriter, riff writer, basically
the brainchild.
The brainchild, exactly.
But
so,
it's
Steve
wild
Harris.
things.
From my perspective, it's so funny because I'll throw out one of those silly wave files or whatever, and it's in my head, it's just like, oh, here's just like a structure,
and they're not
structure.
heavy.
Yeah, they're not.
They're
heavy
always
at
like
all.
sounds like
so.
soft
I'm like,
rock
this
or
would never
something.
be dies. But then when I bring it to the table for a practice, like Judas started off as this like just weird ambient kind of scary little like idea that I had, and then when it turned into a song, like, and we all started messing with it, that's when it becomes like, oh yeah, this is for sure dies.
And that's
like,
what's cool. How it goes through the ringers of all of us and becomes its own thing.
So I got a few questions. One, are you sending these as bass ideas?
I track them all with my bass and
puts
just
a little.
He's got lines on there
some
that
beats on there once in a while, and like maybe just some,
to keep
like,
time.
to
show you if it's in 6/8.
But usually it's just
4/4
a
or whatever.
layer of just like silly bass tracks.
And ambient. It's a lot of it's ambient type shit.
It is. Very
good.
kind of. Some of it's getting off into that Midwest emo world.
It is. Well, dude, we got some fans here though, right?
But with this song in particular, though, I think the idea, it kind of started very general, but then once we got it in the room, that's when it started growing. And then Brent sent some lyrics, and they're like very much experience-based lyrics, and that just kind of breathed a whole different.
It's really
life into
personal.
it even.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Yeah.
So it started with like an idea that you sent, and then it comes in the practice room, and then you guys just start riffing over it. You're showing them kind of what it is, and then you're starting to develop.
It's
from
organic
there,
as hell.
Yeah,
it's not like here's this part, then this part comes next, then this part comes. It's
Mhm.
organic as hell. Yep, it is for real.
So this might go back to a little bit of the way you guys wrote before, but obviously because this is kind of one of your first pieces that you've written in a while, back as a band or whatever. But is there a guy in the band? Because I'm the guy in the band that we'll jam something or I'll listen to the recording back or whatever. I'm like, no, that's not good enough. It's got to change. And then I'll change it, and they get kind of mad because we'll have a half a song that they thought they knew their parts some, and I'll be like, nope, that's not good enough. You guys go through
Dane
that,
probably.
or
Dane.
But I'm
Not
analytic
really,
about
but-
it, where he's more actually like critical. You know what I mean?
He's critical now. Like he wants, and we all want to chisel away the rock a little more and get where we're trying to go.
Yeah,
and
I think we've matured in our songwriting too, because we had a riff that we thought was like really
our first
sweet.
song.
And right out of the gate.
Yeah, we got about a half a dozen
shelved
skeletons
hard.
ready.
Yeah,
like hard.
This was Judas was not the first song that we started writing, because we started writing and we got 3, 4, 5 parts or maybe a couple, and then but Judas was one that popped out.
That one kind of just grabbed us, like kind of wrote itself almost. It felt like
it did, like you said,
Yeah.
like organic. It just
We have
happened, dude.
we have a
Like,
tendency
just
to do it
grew.
a little weirder too, because he'll come in and be like, noodling or whatever, and then me and Tommy will play something that are totally separate, and it just kind of accidentally turns, like we call it the 99 vibe.
Yeah.
Like just kind of turns into a jam. you know, like the song 1999 with Mark Babb. Yeah. But we don't clash too much when it comes to writing. We usually just
we all kind of generally know when something needs to sit back on the back burner for a little bit, or when we need to run.
Yeah, there's no egos with it.
Yeah, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wasn't really talking about ego. I just sometimes you're just like, that's not good enough. Like you think it's good in the moment because you guys are jamming it sounds good and everybody's feeling it. But sometimes
I do that
you
with
listen
vocals.
to it back and you're like, I don't know. We're gonna have to.
At least
do
in my
something a little
head,
different,
I feel like I'm almost that though. Like that one. I was like, dude, I don't think it's working. It's just not done.
Yeah, like
we do
cool.
that with the vocals.
It's cool, but it's just not it, right?
Right.
So you got to know.
Dane
when to
and
say
I,
that.
when we just talk on the phone, that's a lot of the shit we talk about is yay or nay. You know, is this the direction we wanted? Yeah, so just stuff like that.
Don't
shout out Dane Hammerly.
Yeah, so I was talking to Dane a little bit. He had called me,
and
he said the lyrics were a little weird on this song. Not weird, but like they're a little different. You guys had something that you were trying to do and it kind of wasn't working out. And then he had said that he kind of sat down and helped direct that. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, Brent.
Well, again, back to having the tools, dude. We can record our shit so we can listen to it and then go in with like, all right, this, because I started writing the lyrics. I probably wrote 3 versions of this song and then started, with swapping lines and shit and like, but all right, this is first glance, second glance, third glance. So having Dane, and then of course Ephriam too, because Ephriam, his idea was the last part of the song, the last lyric to it. You'll hear that was his idea. So like having different ears, and the toms and that, But yeah, Dane was part of it. It was sweet. Like
Brent wrote a
skeleton,
and it was excellent skeleton. But Dane, back to his rap stuff he used to do, the douanier stuff.
Yeah.
He just has a very good sense of lyrical
try
placement,
this,
and
kind of
he
stuff.
Rearranged it, and it was like, whoa, dude, like we need to utilize
awesome,
that skill of yours more because
big picture. Like imagine if we try to write an album and like can actually take the time and patience to do that and scope it out.
Yeah,
like this is what we're trying to do here, times 10 or whatever.
So you got to sing the words. Are you critical about him changing their phrasing? Like, hey, I might not be able to sing and play this.
Well, that's kind of been a thing with me on some of the stuff with this, but I'm getting it down.
This one we took an approach like
stuff, even though it's simple.
If we have to learn something because it's against because there are vocals that are against the beat and they're fucking stupid, but it's doable.
Right.
Like especially because we've played this song now over the past few weeks a lot.
Yeah, even at the video, over and over.
Yeah,
again.
so like, and that
was good.
That video was excellent practice for me because I'm like, I got it. I'm there.
Yeah,
like and just learn the shit. Dude.
Yeah,
like,
I think
don't know. We've had to do that before. Like,
if you take the James Hetfield path, like he play his rhythm parts till he can just eat cereal at the same time or whatever. Like watch TV playing it. And then, you just know him. So muscle memory, like you don't have to look at your fingers at all. Then you start to work in the vocals over the top of it. And
stop worrying about it.
Yeah, sometimes those rhythms might not be exactly the same.
Yeah.
And this is why everybody puts James on a pedestal. His rhythm playing is so precise and tight that, he can also sing over it and they don't have to be like, I don't think of James as like locking in his singing with his playing.
Riff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's just he's like 2 bodies in one, or 2 people in one body.
And this is probably
so
like
spot on.
Something that's really easy for a drummer to say, like especially Dane, because every limb is doing something different. So he's probably like, "Well, just figure it out."
Yeah,
that's what he does.
Right?
But
you're good, dude. Just
I'm confident that we can like kind of solve these problems,
100%.
Challenges.
Challenges.
Yeah.
But it's easy for Dane to just be like, just figure it out.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be it's a challenge for sure.
Pig.
But we can definitely we can make those kinds of things happen.
Yeah.
So I think we're not going to shy away from those things.
Oh,
That's been the whole vibe of our reunion in general is like set the bar high for ourselves personally.
I'm actually more happy with recording it how it really sounds in our head and then trying to figure something out later than can we pull this off perfectly live?
Right.
I'm done with that shit.
Yeah.
Dude. I don't care.
What's cool is, after all these years, maybe the technical proficiency doesn't get like, oh, I'm shredding and doing all these sweep pickings, but you guys are finding a way to still challenge yourself with the music. And that's always been the fun part anyway, is that little bit of a challenge,
that's true.
right? Like to know that you're getting better, because once you guys pull that off and consistently live, then it's going to be easy. Almost like Mod was saying with the James Hetfield thing, you guys are just going to do it.
Second
you guys
nature.
will get it figured out,
Yeah.
and then that'll be a skill that you'll have in the bag for
That's
when
true.
you want to do it down the road.
I love it.
So it's just cool that you can, kind of set the bar for yourselves.
He-
We can get better in different ways, right?
I didn't even ever think about it that way, but that's awesome, dude.
It sounds like you guys are getting better compared to your own standard and not somebody else what they're doing. Like you could give a shit what any other band on the planet is doing.
We don't worry about other bands.
Like,
nailed it.
and it's just
other bands are cool. They're doing their thing.
Yeah. Yep.
No, other band's cool. They all fucking suck.
We don't.
No, but
They're not in the room though.
There's some shit we've been jamming and writing that would. Like it's damn near like Midwest emo-ish type stuff, or like.
But then there's some
and
straight up death metal shit too.
Exactly, like
I've been meaning to talk to Jay about actually.
Love it.
So we just don't care anymore. We're just gonna if it sounds
feel,
good.
Man. Yeah.
Well, and
I'm 44,
here's
dude.
the thing too. Another thing back to attest to Dane, because like we're talking about like in conclusion on these vocals, we're talking about like, all right, they're written. I like it, and actually hearing it on there and like what we wanted vocally, and it's like, what do we do? What do we do good? I don't know, like the part in Savior's cool, and like me and Tom sing together.
Right.
That we rarely do.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, let's incorporate that, or like, let's, kind of showcase a little bit. You know what I mean? So it's pushing us, but it's still in our pocket. You know?
Yeah.
And I feel like, because there's tunes in our catalog that I hear them and I'm like 75% at best on that vocal effort. I listen back.
No,
I'm like,
I know. Same.
Drop the ball, bro.
Yeah.
We were
Did blasters
under some. No, it was budget stuff. We didn't have time. We just put it out, dude.
I feel great about this tune personally.
Yeah, I do too.
And what's to come, more tunes, of course.
Okay,
like,
so we are going to listen to the song, but before we get into it, I got a few more questions for you guys.
Absolutely.
So what was the decision behind getting one song down and then just being like, we're going to record it, shoot a video for it, and there's that, instead of like, let's get 4 songs, let's get 25 songs. What was the idea behind just one song, put it out, record it, and all that?
Time and excitement.
Yeah.
I think we just wanted to see if we could put something together that's legit.
Yeah.
Before we put all
we didn't want to wait on
fucking money in the pot, dude. And yeah. So just a good trial run, I guess, if you will. Would you guys agree?
Yeah. Oh, totally. We were stoked about this one song in particular. Like it just fits so well.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is us. This is like New Dice.
We've never been that excited after
something
writing a
new.
song,
Plus,
ever,
we got a video
ever.
with it that we did.
Just wanted to come out, swinging a little bit of dick.
Dicks.
And when this song came together, it was like the perfect song.
And
we're like, let's just do it.
It almost puts our backs against the wall in a way of like, it challenges us. Like, okay, we came out with this. It's very well presented.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's high quality. And so now that's the bar for New Dice. Like, so that's what the next stuff is going to have to live up to. So we wanted to make sure that bar got set like nice and high.
That's a good point.
For sure.
We could have probably done an EP maybe, because in Dice Camp we have a few things going on, 4 or 5, 6 skeletons or 2-minute parts, or you know what I mean? So like we could have done that, or God forbid waited and did a fucking full length, and we're talking about
we just
this in
don't
like
have the
January. You know, so it's like, let's get it out, dude. Let's do a video too. That's cool. That's a really cool idea. Do both.
It keeps momentum going for the band in general. It gives the fan base something new to sink their teeth into. Everybody's going to be excited for it, I know. And then it also gives you guys a little bit of accountability to follow up with more.
There you go.
Yep.
And say, okay, you guys got, a taste right here. Here's a sample. Here's a little appetizer for you. And and there's going to be however many. Now, is there talk of a full length, or is there going to be an EP, or are you just going to kind of go into the fray?
Generating some
all-cover album.
We're just going to start writing. I mean, I think, this one took 40 days to do it, but I think that now we've got a little even more momentum now going. So
now you know how things are going to play out in the studio, what it's going to take in and out in a day's work.
That's it.
And then especially with the tools that now that you're bringing to the table, to be able to listen to the stuff back and put a little more time, not necessarily in the lab, in the basement at your house or whatever. Like at home, you can figure some things out.
We're talking about going possibly all in ear.
Oh,
where you just hear the drums when we're practicing or whatever.
No more throwdown.
And we got the capabilities. I'd like to do that. I just like, you can hear your parts more precise when you got cans in and shit, dude. Like,
especially for the vocals, if you guys are going.
It's been me holding it back too, dude. I've been the
singing,
fucker that's not into it. Like everybody's into it. I'm like, no, man.
You can't. You
gotta
find
rock,
yourself pushing too hard to get louder to try.
I just
want to
hear
everyone,
it,
and then you suck.
If I don't have to, like, because when we practice, I gotta like wolves. I got to fight to be heard, dude.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I do, and
Yeah.
I'm still trying to rock. I'm like double duty over here, bro. But like in ears, like especially when we were in the studio, I'm like, and I had like a fucking phobia. I'm like, man, I'm in the booth. Fuck. I'm almost 43. You know, I'm like,
I got that vibe.
but it was killer, dude. It worked out. And you know, I didn't have to push so hard. I'm like, this is nice.
Yeah,
you know, like
because it's right there. So when the vocal,
I
then
can
you're
do the
blowing your
things I
vocals
wanna
out
do.
and shit because
Yeah.
you can't even hear it.
Right.
So you don't even know if
And
you're
then
actually
you-
singing that part
Yeah,
correctly.
just fight
or
to be
whatever.
heard,
bad
dude.
habits too by doing that.
I
That's
found
the
out I
worst part.
developed all kinds of bad vocal shit.
Yeah,
because,
bad
like, I
habits.
had started
Yep.
when I came home from the Jizzy. I started looking up like what are other metal like warm ups,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Water.
Yeah, we
Come to find out.
He
Yeah.
found some Will Ramos warm.
Yeah, I brought the straws,
and they
dude.
were legit, dude. They were
Yeah.
shout out.
I think
Nice.
another good thing about just hammering the song out, getting it out is, you know, now we have something. Dies is, you know, historically always on the cusp of a major internal meltdown and breakup. So,
Oh yeah, yeah.
So in case we all get fired, at least we have this one song.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just laying that mark down just to keep inching
Yep.
further and further along.
Exactly.
I'm always ready to get
He
fired
just
for my
said what
craft,
we're
though.
all thinking.
I was gonna say, I appreciate
Out
the
loud.
honesty. Yeah,
Quiet
You
part
know,
out loud. I love it.
Being transparent.
He's
the best
not
way to
wrong.
Be.
Yeah.
It's like every weekend. Like,
Well, you
who's
do
gonna
have,
get
you know,
pissed?
brothers in the bands. Are there squabbles? Do you and Dane butt heads like
We-
brothers?
No,
Like-
we aren't
No.
squabbling brothers. We're the Bash Bros.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
they're
cool. That's
chill.
cool.
You guys been playing nice though
Yep,
for a
they're
while
chill.
though. You're
We
back.
have, yep.
Everybody's friends right now.
That's good.
I wouldn't go so
I've never seen a major fight in any way. Me and him have been closer way than,
Oh,
than
okay.
Dane. Yeah.
Yeah.
We never
Yeah.
laid hands on each other in this band. If that's what you're asking.
No,
Not-
I mean
not-
that
not
is
in a-
true.
No,
not
but
in a mean way.
Yeah, he's pinned me down because I wouldn't shut up and I was drunk. He's like, you know, I could rule you, dude.
He's an all-state wrestler.
And he basically showed me. I was
Hey.
like, I tap out.
You're
Oh,
like,
you
I'm
win.
good.
You
I'm
win.
good.
That's what you wanted.
How
Yep.
would I remember?
Yep.
You asked for it.
You got it.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the production. You know, obviously Addison is the first choice, especially after the sound that he did, and then I know his situation has changed a little bit. We'll have him
Yes.
back on the show and let him talk about that when he's ready. I know he wants to come back on the show, and
Awesome.
the door is always open.
he's
That's
gonna
what-
drop some major tech on us.
Yeah, that's my brother.
Nerding
Yeah, he's
out,
gonna nerd the
dude.
fuck out, and that's my
13
brother.
13
so, you know,
string guitar.
Yeah, but
13.
what? Tell me about the production process. You know, the actual going into the studio and what that was like, and you know, working with Addison. Obviously, he's the shit, but you know, because you guys are very happy with it. Obviously, you said it sounded one of the best things you ever sound.
Oh, yeah.
He called me. Dane called me. Ephraim's the only one that didn't call me to tell me about the new song that was out. Like
Yeah.
literally, as soon as the weekend after, you guys were all
Yeah.
hitting me up like, "Hey,
We were
We got
excited
some
about
shit.
it. We had what we call the,
Jay was on my
we
short
call it
list.
the dies boner.
Yeah.
we do. We get the dies
I got a
boner.
dice
We-
boner. I got to call Mod, man.
Yeah.
I did.
I had Dies priapism after I heard the first mix.
I had to look that word up. It's a real thing. Yeah.
So yeah, tell me a little bit about the production process going into the studio, especially after all this time.
Yeah,
too.
it was fun, and it's so different from what we've experienced in the past. You know, with going to Lance and doing that thing.
Yeah, we recorded at Rick Johnson's studio,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep,
yep,
right in Grand Rapids.
Cold War Studios. Is that what it's called?
it should be
I
if
believe
it's
so,
not.
yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah, so we went in there like more prepared than we've ever gone into the studio before.
Yeah, we
so
did
I think
straight.
that,
I knew my
pre-pro,
parts,
yeah.
dude.
I think that having that was kind of made it like really super chill. Dane
And
and I went in
fast.
the first day
Yep,
on Good Friday, so it's just him and
and
I.
it's one song.
It's one song,
Mhm.
3 minutes and 41 seconds. You know, I would hope that we could track
Yeah.
it in 2 days.
yeah,
Right.
But we were, we're always worried about worst case scenario. So we're like, oh, we got to make sure we're there the full days.
Mm.
Yep.
So I went in with Dane, and he just, he's a professional. He's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
as professional
Jesus,
as
yeah.
it gets with
Yeah.
with drum stuff.
Yes,
He tracked
Yeah,
his
dude.
stuff, and I was like, "Do you want a scratch track or want me to play him?" He's like, "No, I got it.
I got
Yeah,
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
just sit
he
back.
rocked it out.
Set the
Sit
metronome.
back, big
yeah,
bro.
And so really in that first day, like I needed like an hour and a half with Addison, and Addison knows basically. I mean, I lived with Addison for a couple months, and we just have always been just tone nerds as far as like what we're into
Sweet.
on bass. So he dialed me in right away. I didn't need much time at all for my part.
Okay.
And I put like full trust in kind of his interpretation of what I want
Mhm.
out of it. He's talking in like hertz and stuff, and I don't know all that.
Yeah,
but I'm
yeah.
just like,
That's
know
like
where
the
I
me
wanna
and
be.
him kind of nerd out shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
You mean
so
like Jalen
You're
Hurts?
more 220, dude. Yeah.
So Dane and I wrapped it up on that Friday. We just got it taken care of, and then we got to kind of sit back and let these two guys come in on Saturday and roll. But it was fun, all of us being in there.
Yep.
For that.
It was. We were all business though. Tommy took care of business. I took care of business. That was it.
Yep.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or just Friday and Saturday?
Just Friday, Saturday.
Yep. So guitars and vocals on Saturday?
Yep.
Yeah, we did.
Cool.
We did
Dane and Ephriam Friday, him and I Saturday because of our jobs.
My memories of the old recordings, too, it seems like we were in there for a lifetime.
Well, we also were doing whole albums and just doing song after song, like banging
Yeah.
through, like minimal takes and stuff, like almost cutting it live, but separately,
Right.
if you will.
I can't do it again.
Yeah. So this was more, when I wasn't comfortable with something playing or singing, I'd be like, stop right there, go back, instead of just riding it out. Nope, stop.
Yeah.
Making
the most out of your time, especially in the studio. I mean, we have the technology to do it.
And Addison
if
was
you can
so
pull it off
professional,
live,
too,
that's the important thing.
Yeah.
Right. I'm super comfortable in the studio though. It's like I love it actually. I'm more comfortable there than live. It's not even close.
Ed had us feeling very comfortable in there. It was nice, dude.
Yep.
Kudos to him
He
too.
He probably
for
got
being...
a little too comfortable.
We got to keep that one on wraps there.
Better keep that in the cage, buddy.
Let's say we'll talk to him about that when he comes on.
Okay, fair enough.
So tell me about the video.
Ephriam?
So what? Tell me about the decision. You guys recorded the song. Was it the idea to record the song and do a video? Was that like the whole idea, right?
No.
Take it, Ephriam.
I think so. I mean, I think we kind of all agreed that we wanted some sort of like visual representation of whatever we were doing.
Back to not having any on our, like, if you were to YouTube us.
Yeah.
Like, not
Nothing
a lot of
quality.
Just paralysis.
Yeah.
Other people's videos.
Just all
and
kind of
like
weird random stuff. And
like
almost like
one,
fan stuff type.
Yeah.
And so we were throwing around the idea of like, we all have buddies that, have cameras that can do something. I think it all kind of like just stemmed from how quality the Pyramid Scheme visuals turned out. Like it was just, that was like super inspiring. Like, okay, that's live. Like
you
could
can
we
do that with a camera now, just being like a dude.
It was super cool. So Dane and I were talking a little bit about like just buddies that we knew that could potentially do a video. And we're like, okay, let's think about it. And then I just happened to just be like scrolling around looking for if there were any kind of.
So you kind of randomly found him, huh?
Yeah, I was just looking like, okay, music videos in Grand Rapids. And then I just came across this guy, Jake Burgess is his name.
He's the man.
Yeah, Cardboard Robot Visuals is
10 for 10, dude. Strictly professional.
Just the look of it, just like if you look at his Instagram and just his online presence, it's very just clean and produced and
convincing.
Really seems like he knows what he's doing. He's never done anything in the metal world, and that kind of like that's
a little
what latched
apprehensive
into
maybe.
me. I was like, no, I thought it was cool.
Okay.
I was like, I kind of like that idea of like how just like this visual with
I got it.
the audio that we had, just like the rock.
But it looks like he's done a million metal videos before.
Totally
like when
does.
you see it.
So I reached out to him, and the email response that I got back from him was just like right away. I was like, oh, well, this guy's a legit pro.
Yeah,
like, He just
he's so young too.
What do you do? Most hip hop stuff?
No,
horror
it's
movies.
Kind of he said
indie horror movies.
Okay.
Like he's like like
and he said that like in Michigan, like,
cinematographer.
folk music is mostly where like he's doing videos right now with folk music, but he's always busy like doing independent film stuff.
Films.
But, yeah, I can't super speak to his resume
exactly, but I
know that he's
told
legit.
Us, he's done some sweet indie films and stuff. Yeah,
we met with him downtown Grand Rapids.
Yep.
Just to kind of get a little vibe going, a little mood board going with him, and right away we all were like, oh yeah, we just trust his kind of creative direction right away.
Yeah,
it was weird, but you're right.
Yeah, and so we're just kind of going.
He just seemed like he got it from Jump Street.
Exactly.
Like
and he was organized and pro,
just like Addison,
chill.
pro to work with, dude. It was awesome.
Shout out to Jape.
Yeah, it's another, sticking with a theme of just like how perfect the timing for this worked out. Like everything was just lining up. Like the days available worked out. Dane ended up being able to like snag some amazing locations for us to shoot this. That like just worked out perfectly, all on the day that we were all available.
Nice.
So this dude Jake was just like, well, we're gonna do 2 o'clock to 3 a.m. production shoot. We're going to do this all, hammer it out.
And it worked.
So, and it all somehow
2 locations
came out. Like damn near like impossible feat, but we pulled it
really
off. And
his crew, his crew too.
Yeah, when they pulled in with their little Sprinter vans and stuff and pulled off their lights,
dude.
right when they lit up the lights,
they had fucking night goggles on their foreheads and shit,
dude.
Like it was awesome.
I better step my game up, dude.
They had that whole production thing going on.
I was trying so hard to get one of them to break. I'm like, come burn
scissor lifts and stuff in the junkyard.
No,
hey man,
like full production.
Jake's not gonna know, dude. Get in the van.
Yeah, so it was cool. And
we can give you a little maybe sneak peek.
You want to do it?
I did send it to him.
Did you? Cool.
Yeah,
so we'll check that out after the podcast because we have no way to really. It'll be out by the time this comes out.
Right.
So make sure y'all go check out the If He Dies, He
It
Dies
just
YouTube.
felt right to have something visual to present with the new song. Like I said, come out, kind of swinging a little dick. So.
Yeah, I mean it's nice to have something you never had before too.
It is.
It's like the best Christmas present ever. You're like, dude, this is. We're capable of this now. Yeah, it's awesome.
And sticking with the midlife crisis theme, the guy that's showing up in his sports car. We're showing up with a music video.
Oh shit! When we do our next one, we want to do kind of a more Black Dahlia Murder, tongue-in-cheek type, funny one. So we got some awesome ideas for that. Yeah,
are you gonna go with him probably again then too?
I would.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, if he'll have us. Yeah,
exactly. If he can fit it in, because he did nothing to make us not want to ever go back.
Fuck yeah,
he's
awesome,
the man.
Man.
Yep, Jake Burgess.
All right, well, there's a bunch more stuff I do want to talk to you guys about, but should we listen to the song?
Fine,
let's do it.
All right,
that way it might generate some thoughts.
Yeah, that way we can.
Mod needs it, dude.
Yeah,
give it
because we've talked
feast.
about it. It's
what I'm here for,
right?
Yeah, 1V, 1B.
Feast, Nick Mod.
So,
I hope we don't get sued by Alice in Chains when this plays.
Yes. So this is
for copyright on the vocals.
Tracked and mixed by Addison, of course, and then we sent it to Brad Boatwright to get mastered.
Yeah, and he's legit Grammy nominated for the Stranger Things Volume 1 soundtrack, below the thing. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Like legit, dude. And we gave it to him and it was like,
I think it was like
pretty
4 hours later.
Yeah, and 2 different ones too to pick from. And dude, it was he's a pro.
Cool.
The loudest master I've ever heard.
All right, so we're gonna play the song right here. The song is Judas by If He Dies, He Dies. V1B.
I'm nervous.
I am too.
I'm gonna try not to blast you guys' ears out here.
It's all good.
If I look like concerned, I'm just reading the lyrics. I mean, that's all it is.
Judgment of the weak.
Fuck yeah.
Dane the Hammer Valentine.
Jesus, dude.
You ever hear of Gene Krupa?
He put the Cena belt on the end, dude.
Jesus Christ. Yep, Dane is the undisputed champ.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So,
dude,
Dies
go
is
ahead.
back. Yeah, Dies is back. You guys sound like Dies still.
Yep,
Still
yep.
sounds like
That's
Dies.
good to
important
hear, yep.
still. Yep.
Same Dies taste.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's so much different for us to hear that comment.
Yeah.
Actually is
Yep.
awesome, dude. Yep.
It definitely reminds me of all the Dies I've heard before. Fresh take on it,
Yep.
and only now it's better because the vocals, you did a lot of things with them, and they sound great. From
Thank you.
the variety in the fry vocal to having you guys do the clean vocals on a chorus. I mean, fuck, that's what I want. I mean, I want to hear you guys screaming in my face for the verses,
Right.
and then I want to have
Clean
like
it up.
then I want to have a chorus that I can sing with you live.
Yep.
Back at you. Like
Exactly.
that's the whole fucking goal, right? You're a
Amen,
musician.
dude.
You want to connect with people. You want them to sing your song back to you, and I think you guys did that right here.
Right on.
So-
I appreciate it. That's
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
dude.
fucking great.
All right, after
That's
that,
awesome.
podcast done.
Modcast.
Yeah, modcast. No, that was perfect for me too. We talk a lot about. We listen to a lot of bands on the show.
Mhm.
You know, we talk a lot about songwriting, and that's very important to us, especially this day and age.
Super
this
important to me, dude.
midlife crisis that we
Yeah.
talk about.
Yeah.
From, you know,
God
it's
damn
like
it.
we need a we need a good song.
Yep.
It's cool. You can do all the technical shit and all the noodling, but I also heard some stuff in there that spoke to my heart. A little bit of almost grindy, really fucking heavy scream and low vocal. So you guys really, tickled my
Yep.
bunghole with that. So
I was happy to
That's
see
one of my
your
favorite parts
bunghole
of the
get
whole
tickled
song,
too.
dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
I seen him, dude. I got my both of my mean mugs out of the way with both these gentlemen. I went, oh, yeah.
But to go
Nick
fr-
Mod's
with
over there
those type
feasting
of
on this, dude.
aggressive deicide vocals
Yeah.
to like Allison
I
Chains'
like it,
type
dude. Why not
vocals,
have
but
fucking-
it doesn't seem forced. I don't feel.
No,
Yeah,
it
it's-
seems natural in there, which was
it fits.
accomplishing.
Yeah, it
accomplishment.
flows great.
Yep.
The songwriting was great on it. Obviously, the playing on it was great. Sounded awesome. So fucking good job to you guys.
I love
Thanks,
the,
guys.
you.
Thank
I
you.
love the progression within the riffs themselves. Like same riff,
Yeah.
but now Dane's adding
Just
more
very-
color.
Yep.
And then the vocals are going to change with the drums. So very forward thinking, but also very natural. It
Yep.
feels like
It's by far our simplest song to play on guitar.
I'm
Yeah.
just playing the
it's
rhythm
not
on
even
this
Who
tune.
cares
dude.
though?
I love
I
it.
know.
because
I
the songwriting is there.
It don't need leads, dude.
Yeah,
It's right.
none of us
Yeah.
are doing flashy stuff besides Dane.
The fucking end
Dane
is two
pops
notes,
up,
dude.
That's
Right.
perfect.
Right.
Just all.
And
Yeah,
then-
the last, the end.
That's
is just,
it, dude.
It's
Leave
just
it alone.
hypnotic, though. I love it, though.
Yeah, and let Dane work on top of that. When you
Yep.
have a very simple guitar rhythm, you can open up drums all day, and who better to do that than the guy you've got on the
Exactly.
throne?
Yeah, no shit.
Exactly.
He's perfect for the job.
Yeah.
So.
Full pig.
Yep.
Yep.
He went full pig on the end of that
That's
song.
what he
That's
calls
a new
it.
saying. Yeah.
Yeah. I was
Texas,
thinking that
sorry,
should be a
guys.
name of one of our songs.
Self-proclaimed.
Full
yeah.
pig.
Pig on a
Go
spit.
full pig. We're like, I want to know what full pig means. Me and Ephriam were like, what's up?
dying to hear
What does
it.
that mean?
I
dude?
tried to explain it to Reigns.
And then he
I said,
played
we
it.
say
We're like,
full pig now.
Oh, that's what full pig means. All right. Yep.
Full pig.
Heard it here first.
Yep.
Big swine. So yeah, fuck yeah, dude. You guys rule as always. Thanks for making me want to quit. Appreciate that.
fuck
As
that,
every
dude.
time I see you.
No.
So
No.
cool.
Should be the opposite. Inspired you.
Oh yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
man.
I'm
Let's do it.
always inspired by you guys every time I see
And
you.
it's vice
Yeah.
versa,
Thank you.
too, dude.
Especially
It's
when
for
I
real.
make eye contact with B-Man and he's mad because I'm staring at him and I'm mad because he's staring at me. So you
Dude,
know,
Yeah.
You want to know something, man? And my wife can.
It's because we're trying to impress
Serena
you
can
guys.
attest to this, dude.
You're like legit.
we played
dude.
that last show, the fest, and I had said something to my wife after the fact. I'm like, oh, fucking great, dude. Ingersoll's standing right next to me. So I'm like, my left hand don't work like his, dude. Like,
I had Harley next to me.
yeah.
Yeah, he
That
was,
was interesting.
but he was.
Yeah.
I also saw him like gassing you up.
And
He was.
and
No,
Ben
Harley and I get
was
along
next to you, dude. I'm like,
excellent,
these
dude. Yep.
monsters, dude. Like,
Yep.
what am I to do?
No, we're good, dude.
yeah, but we're family, man. That's fucking what matters. We inspire each other all to get
I like
better.
that.
So that's
For sure.
That's
And
what's up.
we
So.
like to talk a lot of shit, but honestly, like we wouldn't be as part of our motivation is that like we know there's a lot of good shit going on,
Yes,
so we gotta like step
exactly.
it up if we're gonna even throw our name like back out there.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
Right.
when we're like, who's some of the local bands that are like young and doing good? People like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like Sissy Boys and shit. I'm like, who are these Sissy Boys? So we gotta fucking step our game up and
Yep.
make sure we're better. You know what I
totally.
mean? That's-
So us,
I like
us-
it as a competition, almost like a
I do
sport.
too.
A lot of people don't in the art world like that, but
Yeah.
it drives me kind
Oh
of.
yeah, in our us talking shit is like somewhat of a defense mechanism, you know,
It
but
is.
also like
that's
it
well said.
motivates us.
Yeah. It's a double-edged sword because you're always like, I only want to be better than I was yesterday, right? Or we want to be a better band than we were yesterday. But you see these other guys out there killing it too, so you're like, well,
it just motivates you, dude.
So I got to use that as motivation. Maybe I'll never be the player that someone else is or write the songs that they do, but I can only get better in my shit.
Yeah.
So you got to use it wisely, you know. It doesn't have to be a negative thing. But back in the day, you got to remember when we all started, maybe early 20s, you know what I mean? We were all jamming. We all had love for each other, especially in the Indrid and, you know, early If He Dies days. That was all fam too. But, you know, there's other bands and you guys were on tour and stuff like that. Those turned into those type of things where, oh, we're fucking better than those guys. You know what I mean? You kind of had that. Oh, well, the way you say it, maybe not, but I was always like that. I was like, fuck that. I'm sweet as fuck. Like, you know, so I try to put that. I try to bury that, you know, like there's no sense for that. But as a young man, you're like, I fucking shred hard, man. Like,
see,
you know?
and there's something to confidence, man. I know it sounds like cockiness, but it's confidence.
No, dude.
Too.
And my thing was I had that cockiness, but I was a fucking shitty player, dude. You know what I mean? I just want to get wasted and have long hair and,
dude,
it's like, and a leather. You know, like I fucking like wish I was sweet, but I know I wasn't.
T-shirt.
It was like Ace Freely.
Basically. I had to practice, dude. I got it now, but
I suck, but I'd fucking.
I had to learn how to play,
dude. I can rock. Can you pull off leather pants? I can.
We're looking for leather pants right now.
Well,
for you
I
and
know
me.
you are. And my wife approved it too.
Yeah, Tommy's getting a pair too.
Well, I do want to say this. I do love the happy birthday post from Dice because it was like, happy birthday, B-Man. You're the only one in the band that likes Kiss.
Oh.
And then,
yeah, fine.
And we played
Fuck you
4
guys.
shows as Kiss, I think.
Yeah, piss.
It's piss.
well,
Oh man,
I got to pick that
never
set
been a
list.
fan, but hey, to each their own.
Me really
so.
either. Just
But,
the song Deuce. That's my
Cold
one
gin.
I like.
yeah, there's some
Strutter.
riffs here and there.
All right, so let's talk about Dies going forward now. We got some shows coming up.
We do.
First, let's dispel this rumor that I kind of heard. Are you guys playing the La Dispute reunion?
Oh, is that a
show?
rumor? I didn't even know that was a
allowed to
rumor.
dispute that then.
Yeah, they didn't.
Okay.
They didn't call B-Man. I know that.
Okay, that's all I want to know. I just heard Dies was
I
playing the
wish
La
I'd-
Dispute reunion show, and I was like,
Oh, that's
Is that the one
hilarious.
at 20 Monroe?
I have no
They're
fucking idea.
Are they
just-
on a reunion?
They're
No,
doing
they've-
like some
they've just-
shows back.
yeah.
Yeah, they're playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have like.
I mean, did they
5
stop,
I don't know.
or-
They have a
No,
handful of
they've
gigs.
never really, I don't think, truly
Yeah.
stopped. They just
Oh,
go
We
out every once in a
probably
while.
would play
They've
with
been
those
active
dudes just
for a
because
while.
We're
Yeah.
not on
they
that
come
level
from the
right
way
now.
back like we all do. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
Oh,
we
yeah.
haven't heard anything from those guys.
okay.
I did
was
see
just
that
wondering.
they put on something on Instagram where they're looking for some opening acts for their shows, like literally all over
I
the
joined it.
world.
They don't
You
want
know,
guys,
like,
dude. That's
they-
not
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, I just kind of heard that. But we got the day after my birthday, It Dies Today.
Mhm.
That's at the Pyramid Scheme again.
Oh, your birthday's the day before, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
May
All right.
17th, your
Yeah,
birthday?
yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so going back up on stage at the Pyramid Scheme, a lot of our time has been spent recording this, so we're going to get back to
We got to
a
brush
little bit
up
of,
on some of the old songs.
get back in the practice
Yeah.
room. Also do some promo push. I know we're going to have some people that didn't get to make it to the last Pyramid Scheme show
Yep.
or to the fest that still
Yep.
want to come check it out. So we'll start slanging tickets again for that.
Oh yeah.
But I imagine they've been pushing pretty good with their shows as they've come
Yeah.
back and started doing
I
some more shows.
It
so,
Dies Today.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
yep.
playing at Milwaukee Metal Fest.
Mm.
I saw it.
Yeah.
They're on the bill. My buddy's like, you know any of these bands? I'm like, huh.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I think
I
there will
do.
be a.
So they must be the day before then, because that's
they're on the
that's
Century
the weekend.
Yeah,
that's
they're-
the same weekend.
it
5/17 through 5/19 is the Milwaukee
Busted.
Metal
Oh,
Fest.
so
this
they're
year.
just on a round
yeah,
where they're just, yep.
yeah.
I
So they
gotcha.
must be playing either Friday or Sunday or
They're
something.
going to ferry over.
Yeah, they
Oh,
could,
Yeah.
very well could.
They could. It would be convenient.
I
Cold.
think on our end, because we're going to release this tune and the video by the end of the month, sounds like.
Yeah.
And then we have the benefit show with you guys on the 4th, and then It Dies Today on the 18th, both of May. So with because we got to sell tickets for the show and like all of those things wrapped into one, that's kind of what our next month looks like. Just pumping both. You know what I mean?
So-
trying to.
May 4th is my birthday. I'm just going to put it out there.
Oh, it is?
So if I
we're
turn
playing
up,
a show on your birthday and on the eve of yours?
The second, the day after.
I'm just going to...
You got to party with us.
I'm just going to request that you guys...
That's wild, actually.
Go out in Star Wars attire.
Okay, I was
May the 4th be with you.
I was just going to ask you if you're a Star Wars dude.
Can we get Brent and Darth Vader costume, please?
Fine.
Because that's all I can think about when I hear that date.
Ephraim's like, pump the brakes.
I got a Sith cloak at home.
Let's hope they don't have blasters.
Let's hope they don't have blasters. And they were talking about Dies 06.
Bring your big Dies sabers.
You better hope they don't have blasters.
So you got those couple shows, and you guys gonna. So you guys mostly just been focusing on writing and getting this recorded. You put them other songs.
100%.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to do that. Put all your focus.
Judas was like our third tune we were playing with, and that's the one that popped out. We're like, let's get this song with it. This song's ready.
Nice.
I'm excited for more.
Yeah, but
already
the May 4th deal. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about what was going down in Montague.
Yeah, two close buddies of mine in Montague, Jason Jekyll, RJ Nordland. They own North Grove Brewery, and it caught on fire last Thursday, and they're going to be out of commission for a little while, and we're going to try to step to their aid because they're awesome and they support the local music scene. They had an If He Dies, He Dies beer
when we weren't
tap.
Even together.
When we were, after we broke up, and it was like a super strong IPA. Like, but yeah, no, they're our boys. They support them. I've recorded RJ's band, the Carboys. I think their first album that they ever recorded or whatever. So yeah, they're known them for a while. They're good dudes, and
it's a fun spot
for them. I could almost cry right now. It sucks, dude.
That is fun.
You can cry here.
I'm not going to, but it gets me choked up a little bit thinking about that.
So
it's good that people are coming to aid for those guys.
Yeah, of course we're going to go somewhere and try to bring in some support.
Do what we can.
For them.
Yep,
for sure.
And you guys are playing there?
Yeah, well, I appreciate you reaching out and asking us to play. So we'll be there.
Literally the first we thought of, dude.
Yeah,
for real.
It was a 2-minute thought in my head. I said, dude, we got.
What do you think?
Jay, dude. Done. I've been trying to catch his ass.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah,
thank you. And if we can help out with a good cause, we're definitely down to do that.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
For sure.
So fuck yeah. That'll be May 4th at Unruly Brewing.
Muskegon, Michigan.
All for Mod's birthday /
Come out for Mod's birthday. Get him a shot, dude.
Didn't mean to make it about me. Fuck me. God damn it.
We're playing Mod Fest.
We're at Mod Fest for the breweries.
I just thought it'd be just
for the brothers.
Just a little tag on,
for the brothers.
Modapalooza.
Modley crew.
Yeah, bigger things at stake. But
I guess that's kind of cool of Unruly to do that to support
another brewery.
Right.
Kind of a competitor.
Yeah, because I seen like they were doing another one somewhere else too, right?
Fatch is doing one.
Yep.
There's a couple. Yeah,
there's a few.
I feel like
people are coming together for them.
That's how it is.
They made it sound like a bunch of different breweries have reached out to the guys.
Oh, see, that's awesome. That's a brotherhood, just like the band scene and
man. Pick your brother up.
The restaurant scene and shit like that. Yeah,
they'll have donations and people can reach out to that if they feel inclined to. Or get with us and we'll direct you.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun spot.
Mod will be there on his birthday fest, so
he said he might make an appearance at Modapalooza.
Yeah,
Modapalooza.
I'm gonna wear some space buns just for you, man.
Oh my god!
Show.
Do a
now I'm excited.
Leia, kind of with a beard.
Now I'm excited.
I think we could
be like Spaceballs.
I think we could do good with that show, though.
Oh,
I think a lot of
do a lot of good
because I already have a bunch of people who are like, "Hey,
awesome.
we want to go watch your band," and I'm like, "Well, Dies is playing too," so they're like, "Well, fuck yeah!" So I think that'll be that'll be a good show. It'd be cool to get on
in Muskegon
jam with
too,
you fuckers again too.
So
hometown. The last time, is there anything else you guys want to speak about the new song or anything that we have?
Not
covered?
necessarily the new song. Just we're excited about the new potential that we have. That we show we can pull something off that's some of the most simple but still the best shit that we've done. And I don't know, it's exciting. It's
to use B-Man's favorite band's acronym, keep it super simple or keep it stupid simple.
No, I didn't. I'm glad I did personally, especially with the lyrics, because I'm really happy with the lyrics and like all that. And the guitar is super simple on mine and that song.
He's got tons of shit to write about. B-Man's our primary lyric writer.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, 99% of the lyrics.
If we were to, because originally we had talked about doing full length, and lyrically it was maybe going to be conceptual or like a 10-year span, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been track 1.
Okay.
So as far as timelines go, what I'm talking about, that's about the beginning of the hell.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
kind of trying to like lyrically throw yourself right into the fire right off first word.
Yeah.
You know,
and you got to feel that personally.
But it's also it's got a nice uplifting vibe with it too on the end. Like, you know, if you really dive into it, you know, vibe it out. I don't know.
So let me ask you this. This might be a strange question, but I'm curious. So you guys put this one single out. You recorded the one. So if you go to say you do an album or EP, will you re-record the song?
That's a good question.
I think we're point of no return, dude. I think it's just
or this song is out as a single, and then you might just go in and do 5 different songs. What do you think?
I would prefer it that way, probably.
Yeah, I probably would
just on its own, and then
we don't need to.
I wouldn't maybe want to just do a one.
It's got a video with it.
One
cool.
song release,
right?
Or only do one song releases forever. You know what I mean?
Right.
This
day and age, though, there's nothing really wrong with that.
I know.
Except when I go on like Spotify or Amazon and I'm like, I want to listen to the whole album in a single. That's the only thing I don't like about it.
I'm not into it either.
But feeding your fans, like you guys had talked about, you're giving them something now. You're giving them a video. You go do that again in 3 months. At least you're always putting something out. You got to be visual. You can focus on one. You're not spending the whole fucking wad of studio time either, right?
That's it, dude.
Our next work will be more than one. It's not.
I imagine.
I would
probably an EP
so too.
if you really want to know, like, because we originally, when Dane and I were on here, we were talking to you guys a little bit. I think about full length, tentatively, Gemini, as Tommy called it, about 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And that is ultimately, I think, still an end game with us. Like, just put an album out and like, but I don't know. We haven't released anything since.
That's
whatever. So it's nice to release something.
It's just about the practicality of our time and what we can get done.
Right.
That
finally broke the ice.
It's not one of our strengths to like sit and like strategically plan out like how we're going to approach it.
Yeah,
so I think this kind of just happened. And I think
once the tunes are solid enough to where you're like, what are we doing with these songs? That's that's the next. That's when it kind of happens.
I mean, I like that. I'm gonna want a full album, at least 8 songs, like 7 minimum. I'm gonna want 35 minutes of music.
It's probably gonna be either 4 or 10, dude. One of the
He's
two.
putting his request in.
I'll use that as.
I actually, if you really want to know,
material,
dude, I wanted a double length. I wanted a double album. No, because he's got all this shit, dude, that nobody would even believe. It's like beautiful and like.
It needs to be curated though.
But like having a double album with like all the sensitive shit.
You could
do
like the Opeth Deliverance Damnation thing. You could, like if that was a real thought, like maybe one side is more melodic and stripped down and the other side is just really in your face and abrasive. But for me, I'm always going to be a full album guy. I like to open up the CD, pull out the liner notes, read the lyrics, look at the pictures, read the names,
smell the jacket,
fucking smell the jacket. That's some real shit. That's
fuck.
Put a little scratch and sniff dies in there. What's the scratch and sniff? This one's got.
That's the name of our next song.
Smell the jacket.
Smell the jacket.
Smell the jacket.
Was it pig mode and smell the jacket?
I'm gonna forever go
full pig.
I'm
going full
pig on a spit.
Pig mode.
Yep. I'm gonna forever be a proponent of full albums. I'm never gonna let it. Even if you want to press it in vinyl, because that's a big thing. If you guys put out a cassette, I'm gonna be less than thrilled about a fucking cassette.
Yeah,
just I don't.
I can't
understand.
even spell cassette.
I am sentimental about cassettes.
I don't understand that medium.
But yeah, I hear you.
But by all means press it any way you want. But I'm a big fan of full length albums.
Gotcha.
Even if it's coming in at like Rain and Blood style, like 30 minutes, that's still fine.
To me, that's the perfect album.
Is it 30?
Yeah, it's like 29 change. Yeah.
So they didn't even hit 30 on that fucker.
Yeah, that's a blaster. But I'm always going to be a big proponent of like a body of work, and I understand the era we live in. One song at a time. Every 3 months, drop something in on you.
100%.
I still say record as much as you can in the time you have given, and then you can string it along if you want. Like here's track 2, 3 months later, here's track 3, and then drop a full length whenever the time is, whatever date you pick. But
anytime that I think that I'm done with albums or something like that, I listen to like Antichrist Superstar is like such a good one, like just so solid, or like Dirt or The Bleeding. The Bleeding to me is an album. I can't listen to one song off the Bleeding.
You gotta listen to
I listen to the whole thing, dude.
Right.
Yep.
And that's the other downfall of only putting the singles out, because sometimes the albums you just got that vibe where them 3 songs fit, and then you kind of and Ephriam, you probably know this too, it's all about them dynamics, because you guys have a lot of dynamics in this song, especially in that bridge part where you get a little quieter or whatever.
Yep.
So you guys are displaying an awesome amount of dynamics, and that takes a listener for a ride, because
And that was
if you
a
just
conscious
blast for
effort.
3.5 minutes.
I had a hard time chilling out, dude.
It took me.
I had to just
rein
look
himself
myself in the heart, dude, and be like, "You gotta chill, dude.
Yeah.
They don't need a ripping solo here, man."
You can't cook on high all the time.
Yeah, I'm ready to. I was ready
You
to.
just fucking.
Yeah.
You guys are
But
doing
that was a conscious thing, though.
With the wah pedal and
dynamics.
shit.
Yep.
Brent got so
Shred.
sad when Jake, the video guy, called that little 2-note bridge part.
Big,
He's
big,
like,
big.
"Yeah, your guitar lead."
Yeah.
At the
Yeah, the lead part.
He's like, yeah, you've never done metal band videos before.
Yeah.
Dude, did you see the fucking video yet?
No, we're
No.
gonna watch it here in
Oh,
just a second.
damn.
I got a few more questions for you guys. I don't want to keep you all day.
Oh, dude,
but,
we're good.
You're good.
Yep.
I'm
All
still
the time in the
baffled by
world.
the La Dispute thing.
I am too.
Who started that goddamn
Stuck on
rumor?
it. I had literally just heard it.
It's just so
so-
hilarious how that shit comes
That's why I
up,
wanted
though,
to
dude.
ask you guys, because
Yeah.
I'd rather hear
I
it
used
from
to
y'all.
fuck with those dudes back in the day.
Well, and
I even still like their music.
And
but
I've talked to you multiple times. Sometimes we'll talk once a
Yeah,
week,
Jordan.
and
Yeah.
we haven't said anything about it. So I was just wondering. I don't know. I just
mean,
heard it. So
the
Jordan
last-
from La Dispute recorded 1999 with us as
He
an
did.
alternate.
oh,
The
okay.
a live thing we did.
Lord knows what happened to that.
I think I have it somewhere.
Nice.
Yeah.
The last time I saw those guys was at Hager's Hideaway, believe it or not. And
That's wild.
No shit.
Dude,
Yeah, it
that
was-
might be the last time I saw them too.
Yeah, it
I
was
swear to God.
fucking
Yeah.
forever ago. But
Yeah.
Jordan was hanging out in the back room where y'all were serving food at HOYSF, and he gave me a hug. So I have a hug from a famous person.
Yeah, I know. Dude.
Semi-famous.
Hey, dude, they blew up, man.
They
he was
did
at
really.
Hoyfest.
Yeah.
Hey, big
No,
in Europe.
no, like where you guys were serving food. That room.
Oh
there,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
The last time I
So I
saw them
definitely
dudes
didn't
was
see
like
he said
20
you
years
guys
ago.
like you guys had hairnets on.
Yeah.
Where B-Man was
What'd you
slanging
like?
sandwiches.
Back there playing an Italian beefs.
Working off some restitution. You know, like,
The beefcake was slanging the beef.
what do you have?
What do you have?
Fucking
Whatever I give you, you fucking take it.
taco
That's funny.
stand.
You hungry?
So I got to ask this question last time, but now that we are graced with Tommy and Ephriam's presence, and, and you can answer this as well too. I asked you and Dane this, but what's you guys' favorite part of being in Dice and having it return?
That's easy for me.
Ooh.
Just the camaraderie and the fun we have together.
Yeah.
It trumps the music to me.
Oh yeah.
Did you
I
say
could
my
be in
name?
the worst? Yes, I did. Hi, Trump. Yeah, I could be. That's one of our games. But
I'm sorry.
yeah, I could be in the worst absolute mood of all time, and the second we all get together, it's just fucking side splitting. I'm sore the next day. Shit, like
Right.
my abs. After the video day, I was so sore.
Oh yeah.
Not from my body, but like my abs from laughing the whole time.
Just silly
that's-
geese.
Honestly, that is my favorite part,
Hell yeah.
and it makes the music more exciting when you do have that camaraderie.
Jam
I
with your
guess, if you will.
homies, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my favorite part for sure.
Yep, definitely the hang for me. Like it's
Yep.
an awesome creative outlet, but just
Just
having
just
having
that
some bros, like,
fraternity,
okay,
dude. You're getting back with your
Yep.
fraternity
Yeah.
brothers.
Yeah.
Thank God
Yeah.
it's Sunday. Get to
Couple of
just
dickheads,
go
man,
and
hanging out with the boys.
Yeah.
Turn
We have a
everything
man
else off.
cave that we can hang out in and
Yeah.
make music.
That's
Yeah.
what it
It's,
is.
it's just midlife crisis, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you
No,
gotta
I-
get that. I love that too.
Yeah.
You gotta have it.
And I
Like,
love even this shit, getting together with you guys, the homies and shit.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Mods
I
here,
fucking
dude.
love this. Yeah.
I like, you got to have something outside of work and family, right? You got to
Yeah.
have a little your own thing, and you get be your own thing, totally isolated in the basement if you want it to be.
Yeah.
But having 3-4 other people to share it
Yep.
with and get together and like you said, the
It's
laughter.
special.
Yeah, I mean
Yep, it's special.
it's more fleeting the older you get, right? Like no lies, like
Mhm.
you're working
Mhm.
all the time. You come home, you're tired, you eat and you go to bed,
Oh,
and you
you
get up
bet.
and you do it again. Sometimes you're doing that 6 days a week, and on that
Yep.
7th day, maybe you don't want to fucking do anything at all.
Yep.
But knowing that there's 4 other guys looking forward to seeing you,
That's exactly
well,
what I was
that's
just
a little
saying.
bit more of a feather in the cap. Like, oh, somebody wants to be around me.
Right.
Like, I
Right.
want to be around them.
Right.
Like, and then, oh, by the way, we make fucking awesome music that thousands. I'm gonna go ahead and say for you guys' part, probably thousands of other people want to hear it. They're looking forward to it. I mean, that's
Yeah.
a pretty cool thought to have. Like,
Yeah.
I get to hang with my homies, and then we're gonna write some music, and then a bunch of people are gonna look forward to it. So,
man.
I think it is special, and
It
it's
is. I got goosebumps right
Yeah,
now.
like-
Yeah.
when you're in your 20s, you think you're going to conquer the world and
Yeah.
become rich and famous. But now here we are, we've arrived, and we're like, well, like I'd say I live in abundance. I have a family. we are taken care of. There's safety and security on the home front.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of more like I need a little bit more fulfillment in my life, and that goes to like looking inward and saying, well, what do I want to fucking do with my life? And you guys are doing that right now, right? Like I'd imagine you don't just say I have to go to practice today.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking
No,
hell.
I do that sometimes.
but I guess that's my point. Even if it is like that,
Yeah.
when we get together,
It's
doesn't
really
matter, dude.
not, dude.
That's
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my point.
Yeah.
No, it's
Yeah.
cool, man. It's like a little 5-hour vacation.
Yeah,
Just
but it's
go
like
and
necessary to
fucking
my mental health.
mean mug
almost,
each
you know
other's
what I mean?
riffs,
Yeah.
dude, and
Yeah.
fucking just
Riff it
you
out.
know, and
Yeah,
just
it's definitely like that third
be
place.
around
You got
strings and cymbals
work,
and shit,
home,
dude. You know?
and it's the nice third place where it's
Yep.
just like, yeah, we're super fortunate to have that. Like, not
Yeah.
everybody has that. Like, just such a rock solid and such a fun and silly third place
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
thing. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
we've
think
been,
we're like the 4 funniest people in the world. I swear to God. Yeah.
dude. We've been
and
in our own
smartest and
ways.
most attractive.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
happiest
Yeah,
and the
valedictorian.
best.
Yeah.
we've been really like at practice too. Like, anytime somebody plays a riff, like diving into it for like 25 minutes on accident. You know what I mean? So like, it's been very rifty in practice, as we call it.
Nice.
And that's enjoyable, man. After
Yeah.
not, a lot of riffs for not a lot of years.
Yeah, that's actually the funnest part. When
It's like
we get out of
dude,
just
that's
a
cool.
cue chord, like
Fully trusting your brothers when it comes to
and
songwriting.
just start just
it's good,
going
dude.
for
It feels
20.
good.
Love
Yeah.
it. Where we
Yeah.
go full fish.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
hearing
Tom
hearing
gets on the
big,
piano.
full fish. Yeah, dude,
I'll do a fish
we were trying
album,
to
dude.
incorporate piano into this
One
new
song.
actually, and we're like, all right,
Yeah,
let's
this
pull
song
the
almost
reins
had
back a
piano
little
in that
bit.
bridge, dude.
Let's go back a little bit.
That's how silly practice.
But it
That's
sounds
how- yeah.
awesome though. Like,
but it would have
like
it
it
would've
was
sounded
making it a
good,
more of a
but we're
99
like,
part
Yeah.
and like grooving into
Yeah.
the.
let's ease into
"Woo,
this
yeah," at
shit
the
a
end.
little bit. Yep.
Yeah, it could have been a 9-minute
Could've
song.
been. Yep.
they all
Almost
can be.
was.
They all can be 9 minutes,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
That's what we
right.
had to remind
Yeah.
ourselves. Yeah, that's one thing we're trying to avoid is this long songs. Like this
Yeah.
one is like right in that sweet spot for
Yeah.
us at least.
Yeah.
Like 340. That's
Yeah, that's
nice.
That's
Yep.
about the mental capacity of any music lover anymore.
Yeah,
Like-
3 to 3:30 is
Yeah,
about a
that's-
minute
That's
10.
good, man.
The average.
and,
Yeah.
and a good song in that time.
Right.
That's what matters. Like,
Right.
That's what you guys have with this.
Exactly. Yep.
So let me ask you guys. This goes to Tommy and Ephriam.
Mm-hmm.
When Dies was on hiatus, what other musical outlets were you? I know you jammed a little bit with some people, and we don't have to talk about that because me and your brother talked about that,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that was a whole different situation. But at least as far as you and Joe Doney, I kind of
Oh,
know
yeah.
what happened with that
Yeah.
whole thing. But what about you guys? Like, why was it like so long? Kind of didn't do anything musically, and then all of a sudden, Dies got back together. Now it's you guys are all both feet in. You
Yeah.
guys jump right back in the fire. So, tell me a little bit about that. I'm curious about that. Obviously, I know I got to ask Dana and B-Man. I know what was going on during the whole
Yeah.
hiatus, and we cleared the air and talked about all that
Slammer.
already. So,
Yeah.
it was just
Yeah. I've always been active even after we broke up. It's kind of sour for a while and didn't do much for a long time, but then Dane started doing his hip hop stuff, and I was like, I need to get recording shit because him and Addison were doing stuff. I'm like, I want to do shit like that because I've always loved hip hop and shit, dude. And so yeah, we got into doing that. We've made like 2 whole albums together. and
Oh, okay.
With that, like me producing and singing on it and him rapping or whatever. And just doing sampling and songwriting. That was fun as hell. And then Dane and I were also in a band with Dylan Krause and Phil Myers, DDT, Danger Damage Chair, and Andy Ostrom. And that was awesome. We opened for Phil Anselmo's solo project
Oh,
at
okay.
the intersection.
Oh,
with
The
awesome,
Illegals.
dude. Yeah, the Illegals. It was like kind of like Discharge, like heavy punk. You know what I mean? Yep. So that was fun too. And I've always been active, writing little ditties, never whole songs or nothing, just riffs, layering parts, like what you send to us.
Yeah.
That I'm the king of that. I got so many of those things, and
Yeah.
it just I'll be honest with you, I am kind of lazy when it comes to the music thing. I'm not as motivated as I should be, and this has helped actually get me motivated.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Since we've been back together.
It's helping
But
me.
before that, if I didn't pick up guitar for 2 months, it wasn't odd,
Yeah,
Same.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just wondering. I knew you were involved in some things, but I mean,
Yep.
obviously, this animal takes on a whole,
Yeah.
life of its own when everybody gets back
It
together.
does.
Yeah.
What about you, Ephriam?
I honestly, after Dies, I sold all of my gear, everything. I hung on to one bass, but it was like all beat up just from the Dies years, but I held on to it for sentimental reasons. But I didn't touch an instrument for years. Once in a while I'll pick up my acoustic or something. I don't even remember. It was probably like around 2016 or 17 before I got back into like even messing around.
I was easily 5 years.
Yeah.
Before, or 3 to 5. Yeah, somewhere in there. Yep.
It was wild. Yeah. So
Didn't
then I
touch
just
an instrument. Yep.
started messing around. Joe Doney moved back into town. And so he was hitting me up a little bit, just like, hey, I've got this. He went on a weird journey and was picking up guitar and playing stuff. So
fucking
I just
awesome guitar
basically
player,
just laying bass,
awesome
laying
musician.
simple bass over stuff he was doing. It was super cool. But it was just like a fun, like that's when
Tom's drama.
started buying more gear. I was buying 4 strings for some reason at that time.
Yeah.
But just went down a rabbit hole of just picking up instruments again. And
I'm sorry, brother.
It was a dark time.
Bought a 4-string, man. You ever heard of Warwick?
And then I don't really know what happened after that. COVID hit, and then we slowly started talking about, when Brent came back around that, we should start picking this up, getting into heavy stuff. So I was like, I should probably get a real bass guitar, with all the strings and
5.
Yeah.
And the whole time that we were off, I just was accumulating gear kind of. So nice. I was in the opposite direction where I was like ready for any time this as a like just say now. I got it. Yep.
I had a bunch of really sweet gear like right when everything was really cheap. I can't remember if it was right before the shutdown or right afterwards, but like I'd gotten a bunch of stuff. I was like, this is what I would have if I was ever in a metal band. And then 2 years went by. I was like, I'm never going to be in a metal band again. Sold it all. And then we all got back together. I was like, oh shit, I got to rebuy this stuff.
And sometimes that stuff, you tinker with different stuff, but sometimes that just works out for a reason. It was kind of like when you guys got back together that then you all knew you were where you needed to be, right? Like you're like, okay, this is that. This is where we go. We get all back in.
Yep.
Obviously, at this point, families, married, kids, all that stuff now. But you working around that, like you said, like Nick was saying, you got to have that other thing, and that gives you that. And
for sure.
It's just cool to see you guys back together, and I appreciate the hell out of you guys, and I always have.
Likewise.
So,
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
big
with
fans
us.
of the podcast.
Yeah, you guys have been killing it, by the way.
Well, thank you, man.
Kudos.
We really are. We listen.
No, for real. Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's why I said earlier. I was like, just watch the Heart on Your Sleeve Fest.
I didn't see that one yet.
Try to keep up on
see you next Tuesday, though.
Yeah.
I always sit here and give all glory to Jason, and I told Chantel in a comment last night, I was like, I just show up with charisma and enthusiasm. Like, that's my role. Like, Jay's over here with, obviously,
that's my mod.
You got everything in the
room.
That's
my mod.
Yep,
well, I bring my smile. I let it shine.
And what a beautiful smile.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. I appreciate it,
Thank
dude.
you. Yep. Heart on my sleeve here.
Yep. Mod Fest.
I'm down for Modapalooza.
2024.
Like
well, I tell you
featuring
what,
Motley Crue.
If I had my way, we've had a lot of bands on the show. I would put together a bill of bands that we've had on this show, and that would.
My God,
you're doing that this summer. What's the date?
Announce it.
Let's dispel this rumor.
This just in.
Are you guys playing? I heard a rumor.
Yes, we are.
So we've had so many.
Modapalooza? Are you kidding me? Yeah, we're playing.
The thing is, we've had so many good bands on the show.
Absolutely.
It would be one of those things where it's like, it's almost too much of a good thing. Because you go to a show and you're like, how much metal can I fucking stomach? Like,
you're right.
Right in the fucking eyeballs. Like, how much metal can I stomach? So it has to be like a 2-day thing, not now. Now we're going to bill it for 2 days.
13 bands, 1 day. Starts at 7:40 a.m.
That's actually my personal nightmare.
17 minutes.
Dude, you going to be there? Don't be there after 8. You're going to miss us.
Music, but
it's like, don't you like metal? Don't you like metal? And it's like, yeah, but I don't fucking live, eat, sleep, shit, breathe metal.
What if you got to take a shit?
Yeah, I bring it with me.
That's all day.
Metal up your ass.
Our reunion show, we had a hip hop DJ and punk band.
Amen.
I love metal more than the next guy, but
so
it's
also
just nice for the crowd to not just get
be able
burned
to,
out.
Get
over the head.
Get back in the same saddle together and see each other. A lot of people see each other that night. That was weird.
Yeah. Well, as a fan of music in general, though, you can't just sit there and be bombarded with metal, like inundated with it. Like, so you guys' comeback show was smart. You had variety. And it wasn't just beating on your brains and your skulls with metal like over and over. Yeah, and that's smart because, like, again, it allows the room to breathe. You get in a diverse crowd. Things blended well enough. You know, you had organic instruments with the first band. They're a
there's
band.
still a rock band.
And then you got a DJ. Everybody likes to dance, or should, and get on your fucking feet and dance and
or
enjoy.
Or at least sing along to those old hip-hop songs.
And, exactly. Return to the Mac.
Yeah, so that's cool. That just gives everybody something to, enjoy in the room as an atmosphere. And then you guys come on as, like we're all waiting, sink our teeth into it. So I think it was a really smart way of doing things. If I had to do a bill, how do I do it? Because I want to do all these awesome metal bands, but it's like, can I sit there and watch all of these awesome bands start to finish? And
I'd say no. I can't. I don't think I could.
I think you need to do, if you wanted to do something, you just pick the 4 that you can do and then maybe do another one down the road or something. But it may be 4 other different bands. But yeah, that whole, so on the 17th, on my birthday, I'm going to see Cattle Decapitation and Vitriol, Zenith Passage, Face Yourself.
Yeah,
the list goes on and on. There's like some Humanity's Last Breath, and then there's like 8 fucking. Then there's like 8 openers too.
Oh god,
because it's at the Crowfoot, and the Crowfoot has a stage upstairs, and then they have the main stage downstairs. Well, I went to the Bleeding Through reunion show, the 20-year This Is Love, This Is Murderous show, and that was at the same place.
Okay.
And after I left there, it was the same kind of thing. There was like, I mean, Walls of Jericho played, and then like a bunch of hardcore bands, and then there's like 8 locals on that. And you'd go up for 30 minutes and go down, and like, well, I bought the ticket and I'm here all day. But by the end of there, I didn't want to hear fucking metal for 3 weeks after that.
Exactly.
And I got a metal podcast, and I got to listen to metal, but I was like, I got to listen to some Darius Rucker or something, because this is fucking, my ears hurt, dude. I can't fucking do this all day.
Like, it's the meme where like when you're over your 30s and finally the headliner comes on, you're slumped over just trying to catch your breath. Like,
I just want to hear one tune.
Yeah. I'm just here for the one hit.
And I've said this before on this podcast, but Walls of Jericho fucking stole that show. They were.
You said that when I talked to you about that.
Yeah. Actually, we were talking to See You Next Tuesday. They were on that show too. So
they were.
Yeah. So it was cool to see.
No, I think they're on my Spotify right now on last listen.
Really intense.
See You Next Tuesday. Because of your podcast.
See You Next Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm like, I gotta listen to some new. Like, I don't listen to
Distractions.
Music. The newest release from them. I think it was the singer was talking about they're opening the set with off that album, the newest,
the Relapse one.
Yeah, so I sent me to Spotify and I started picking apart their catalog. I'm like, there's a lot of fucking 90-second songs in here. Dude.
Oh yeah. I mean, they're grindcore.
They're grind. Yeah,
they're so grindcore.
But the new one is just all remixes, so it's like it's a lot to take in. It is real. It's like in your face, and they've had different people remix it. But the one before that came out, I believe, last year, Distractions. That one's pretty good because it's kind of just See You Next Tuesday. So the Relapses was just something that they were doing a little bit different and having people remix their stuff. It's still pretty good, but you got to hold on tight for that ride because grindcore remixed with electronic elements. You're like, it's fucking like, your face is melting off. You know,
my little boy, he's into Atari Teenage Riot right now, so that's what I've been hearing is like grindy, aggressive techno and shit. So maybe I should get into it.
It's cool, man. Yeah. It's cool, but it's also, I mean, grindcore isn't for everybody, so then when you remix it and have electronic elements, you got to really be
grindcore's
for
me though.
You know, so
I'm grindcore all the way.
It's cool.
I wave that flag.
Yeah. All right, is there anything else you want to go over, Nick? Did you have any questions?
Matapalooza, you guys hit me up.
Matapalooza
seems like it's in the works.
Fourth Unruly.
I got
Where's Star Wars apparel if you're there for me?
I got a couple more questions for you guys if you're good with that. Then we'll call it.
Let's have it.
So first things first. This is usually kind of Nick's. Actually, why don't you ask your question to these guys? Because
we got
Tommy and Ephriam first time on the band or on the show.
Okay,
you can ask them a question, and I got one more question for you guys after that, and then we'll call it.
Yeah, so the staple question here on my end is for you guys to impart upon us what you're listening to. One heavy act. It could be several if you'd like, but I'd like to let people know, what you're digging on that's heavy, and then something that you chill out to when it's time to decompress. Because as we just spoke to, you can watch a 4-hour concert of heavy metal in your face, and you're like, okay, no metal for a week. So we'd like to share with the metal community the non-metal things that we like to enjoy. So whatever you guys got, whoever's ready, go ahead.
You're starting with non-metal first?
Whatever you like. Metal or non.
I don't know. Recently I've gotten sucked into like I don't even know if it's new or not, but night verses.
Okay. I'm not familiar. That's why I asked these
questions.
What
they're called. I think that's what they're called.
Okay.
Definitely into them, but light, oh man, I could really disappoint you with a lot of the light stuff that I'm into, but Nova Amor.
Okay.
They just came out with a new album that's pretty solid. On the light side of like Local Natives too. They just came out with a new album, but yeah, I kind of go on some weird journeys with my light stuff. Low swimmer, like that kind of stuff.
All right. I mean, I have
very melodic and
yeah, I like it. I mean, I just like knowing what people are listening to.
Yeah,
besides metal,
the Night Versus stuff. I think they just released a single with Brandon Boyd.
Okay.
From Incubus. So
yeah,
it's super cool, and it's just kind of cool to see that same kind of era of what we were listening to coming back around, and he's doing some stuff with a more modern. I mean, he did a song with that more modern band, so it's hearing his voice.
Yeah. There's a Night Versus announced part 2 of Every Sound has a color in the Valley of Night. So that's with Brandon Boyd. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check this stuff out. Both I have Low Swimmer and Night Versus on the tab right now. So
go on a little journey.
Did you see that? Just a little side note. Did you see that they're reimagining Morning View?
Oh yeah,
no way.
I like some of the mixes on it too.
Yeah, it's so kind of taking where they're at as a band now and redoing some of those songs and reimagining the whole album of like what they would do now.
So it plays such a trick on your brain though when you hear this album that you've heard for like 20 years,
right?
And then it's like a little bit different. You're like, whoa, what happened there?
Yeah.
But
I do like alternative versions though, like acoustic versions, different versions of songs.
Oh yeah,
I dare you to.
Oh yeah.
What have you been listening to, Tom?
Heavy side right now. Like Zayo just put out.
They're back.
A live thing at this church, and it's on YouTube and it's released on iTunes. Oh, dude, it's bam, dude. It's like the direction I wish we could like be perfectly headed in.
Oh yeah, I love when
it's got a lot of the melodic shit. And then just ultra heavy, dude.
I'm gonna have to check that out,
dude. It's dope.
Yeah, I saw they're coming out with the live albums.
It's so good too. It's
just came out 2024.
Yeah, just came out.
Yep.
All right.
At least it was uploaded onto YouTube like 9 days ago on their official,
so
or not
just,
even 9.
Just came out.
Yep.
Cool.
And then the new High on Fire dropped, I think, yesterday. The full album.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to listen to that too.
Oh fuck, dude. That's like one of my favorite bands of all time. We were lucky enough to play with them. I got to hold Matt's 9-string hammer guitar.
The Pike.
It was awesome. I'm like,
Cometh the Storm is the name of that new
Cometh the
release.
Storm.
I'm gonna have to listen to that. Maybe I'll listen to that.
Every High on Fire is good, and their new stuff's been good, but this one, they got Cody from Big Business and the Melvins, and I think Carp or whatever on the drums this time. It's his only album that he's done with them, and it fits so good.
Nice.
He was made to be in that band, dude. Yeah, it's great. Softer side, I listen to a lot of kind of like Ephriam was saying, like that kind of mellow shit he was saying, but I actually been liking a lot of old like the Ronettes and like Del Shannon, like 50s rock.
No shit.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. In particular, usually like women singers from the early 60s or whatever.
Nice.
Love that. Yeah, Veronica from the Ronettes is my favorite singer of all time. It's not even close. Take Me Home Tonight.
Love it.
Just like Ronnie said.
That's right.
Like Ronnie said.
No, that's my girl. But yeah.
All right. Well,
that's awesome, dude.
Well, thanks for sharing and give the audience something to listen to.
Well, that's why I pulled this shit up, dude, because I'm all over the place, man. I have like ADD with music, so last search is See You Next Tuesday, La Dispute, ABBA, Elvis, and American Trilogy, specifically the song, Archspire, Mastodon, etc. Dirty Dancing soundtrack. So but I'm still I got a bone to pick with Dahlia. I've been just going through their shit for 2.5 years now. Like, yeah, I can't.
He said that last time.
Yeah, dude. Like, I just keep going through their shit, and I'm like, what?
Yeah,
digging on this fucking Behemoth banner too. I pulled them up the other day just on some live shit.
Behemoth.
Couldn't tell you what I was listening to, but just heavier than you can imagine.
Demigod.
That's there you
go. But then also
like the pinnacle of Behemoth.
I listen to some real like I just said ABBA's and you know what I mean, Dancing Queen rips, dude.
So you're listening to that La Dispute because you guys were on that show?
Apparently we're headlining a show and they're opening for us, so I had to get hip, dude. But
cat's out of the bag.
Shit. You got us.
Yeah.
No, Jordan's just
I've seen that.
Yeah. He's such a good I don't know if you guys are into them or not, but he's such a good lyricist. Like he's clever.
Yeah.
You know, like
it's fun to listen to.
Yeah, dude. So
they're great musicians.
Again, having a weird 10-year gap in my life is I have to resume on other people's catalogs. Like Cattle Capitation, I was just checking some of that out the other day.
Woof. Fucking top notch.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Top notch.
Like, we're not a heavy band, dude.
We're
really
all-
not.
They are, like, when you say death metal and like what's happening right now,
That's it.
there's
Yeah.
cattle decapitation. and
We're
then
new
there's
metal compared to them, dude.
everybody
I hear
else.
you. Yep, I can't argue that.
There's everybody else after that.
Well,
Sorry,
Yeah.
but it's true.
That album too, your album, the Infinite album from
Fragments.
Oh yeah, I rock
yeah,
it.
that was a couple. Yeah,
Technical Pete,
went on a
man.
journey with
Yeah.
that.
My fucking brain melted.
It is technical. Yep.
I think Adam's brain melted.
That first track on that album's insane, dude. There's so many riffs going on.
But
Yeah.
another style of music, I'll say it's a style because it's all the same kind of songs. It's like the 80s stuff, like Thompson Twins, "Hold Me Now," or what's the song at the end of Napoleon Dynamite? Yeah, the Promise, like shit like that.
Yeah.
80s, like
that'll always.
British.
I've been on
Yeah.
Beds
I
Are Burning
love
for
that
Midnight
shit.
Oil.
Yeah.
That is
Love that
my
too.
shit. But I know these guys both
What
like
was
it
the
too.
one that I just sent recently? The Steve Winwood.
Yeah.
Which one?
Sex
Oh,
tape.
we love Steve Winwood.
I can't.
The
I gotta
finer
look.
things. Oh my god.
Just
Brent, I
so
lost
good,
you there.
though.
What was that last bit that you said?
I listened to probably maybe 15 times through Beds Are Burning by Midnight Oil.
Oh,
I do that,
God,
dude. Like
yes.
I'll pick out a
Excellent.
tune and beat it to death.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then text Tommy like, "Is this sweet?"
That's
You know,
all
like-
calls the gatekeeper. Yeah.
No, dance hall days. I did
Yeah.
that to you a few weeks ago. In the dance hall days.
Oh yeah.
That's fun.
Like, Tom, you remember this?
Yeah, I like all that kind of music.
The Cure.
It
The
just,
fucking Cure.
Yeah.
I mean, it brings you back to a certain time in your life too. Like
It's
when you're
weird that we're in a
you
metal
know,
band together
yeah.
too, like on top of things, because we listen to equal
There
parts.
isn't a heavy band that we all consistently listen to, except for
Right.
we put it Deftones.
Yeah,
was probably
probably
the,
the
Deftones,
the closest
yeah.
thing to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
Brent, I tried to make you hip to that Black Braid. You listen to that, right, Brent?
That's on my that's
Oh,
in my
Black
search
Braid's
right now.
good.
And then
But-
also that Orbit Culture I thought might be up here.
Is that one dude from New York, Black Braid? Is he from New York?
Yeah,
I
he's
actually believe
like
he is.
And I think it's just him. He's like the Resner of the operation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lesnar.
That shit's sweet, dude.
yeah,
He's the Corgan.
that's
It's
for
very
sure.
heavy.
Yeah.
And it's
No,
another like keep it simple kind of act.
I didn't think
where-
they'd be American.
Definitely.
I'm like New York.
Yeah,
No,
I was
Rich
actually
Baseball got me
Yeah,
into
they're
them.
like Native American.
Yeah,
Oh,
you would.
It's like Native American black metal. It's
gotcha.
interesting.
that Orbit Culture too is up your alley too because it has like an old school feel to it, but it's really intense and it's simple in a way, but it's got a lot of atmosphere and the production behind it. So check that out too. Dive into that, you'll like it.
All right,
Fine.
cool.
Yeah, yeah.
So two more things, and then we'll wrap this bitch up.
Mm-hmm.
First things first. Let's. I got one more question about music for you guys, and then we'll talk about what's next for you guys. I know you kind of already said it, but I just would like to bring it back home and wrap it up so everybody's aware. Right off the top of your head, give me the top 5 extreme metal albums off the top of your head and go.
Rain and Blood, The Bleeding, Any Dying Fetus album. Goddamn, right on the spot here.
Yeah.
Morbid Angel, the one with the Rapture Covenant,
Okay.
and probably holy shit. Dillinger Escape Plan, Calculating Infinity.
Nice.
All right.
And I'll just sign off on whatever Tommy says because that's such a hard. I mean, I can't answer a question like that. So.
Yeah, that's out of his.
I just wanted like the 5 that came to mind.
Yep.
Obviously, them are the ones that are on the top of your head.
Yep.
So
Prowler in the Yard, Calculating Infinity, anything from Dahlia. I
Yep.
listen to Painkiller from Priest a lot. That's not very extreme, but it's fucking solid, dude.
It's
It's
still-
their
it's a
most
90s
extreme.
double kick, Rain and Blood, dude.
Yeah, Rain and Blood.
Yeah.
There's the standard.
Anything from Cannibal, dude, if you're into that.
Yep.
okay,
Um,
for sure.
again, back to Adam Eklund's brother and having all those shirts in high school. So,
Just listing
You know,
off all
like
his
DSI.
shirts.
Yep.
you
90s.
know, like,
Any
Yeah.
90s Florida death metal, every
Yeah.
Deicide album.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
first, especially the first one.
man, I was listening to some tunes yesterday, and the new Deicide came up, and
I
that
heard-
motherfucker is sweet.
Is
dude.
it?
I
Dude,
know.
Is it out? Or at
It's
least
just
a
the
song
one
that you-
song.
okay.
That actually that comes out on 5/17.
Right. I
But
saw that was coming
just
out
the
soon.
one song popped up, and
I'll
I
have
knew
to
it was
hear it.
Deicide, but I was just like, "This is fucking
Well,
good."
I think
Jesus.
I think the
my
main
favorite death metal vocals. Like
Glenn
how they
Benton?
do it, dude. Just how he harmonizes,
the
if you will.
two-punch.
Yeah, the 2-punch. I love it. I'm a sucker for that shit,
I think,
dude.
if I'm not mistaken, I think Jack Owen formerly of Cannibal Corpse wrote most of the material.
But
But he also dipped out on him because like they changed a bunch of his riffs in the studio.
Because Glenn Benton.
Because Glenn Benton. Glenn Benton. Full Glenn Benton. I don't know.
He straight up, like, he walked in one day and they're like, yeah, we changed this so that we could get writing credits and whatever other. Well, that's his side of the story anyway.
Yeah, right.
And he just, like, he rolled his eyes and walked. He just ghosted him, like, right there on the spot. Like, that was it.
I'm sure that was, like, the final straw.
Yeah,
like,
I'm sure.
There was a bunch of bullshit going
Leading up to it.
That.
Yep.
It was just like, all right, fuck y'all.
But
you guys ever listen to Ozzy?
yeah, I love Ozzy. Fucking
Dude, we
waiting
kept
for the
doing
new
that.
one.
He's cool, dude.
During our video.
First,
Because this crew was a bunch of kids. Dude.
Oh yeah, young.
And we're like,
yeah.
hey, you guys ever hear Ozzy?
well,
Or like, you ever hear Kiss?
you remember that thing that was going around when Post Malone did a song and they're like, who's this Ozzy guy in the Post Malone
no way.
song?
Fuck.
Yeah, and motherfuckers are losing their shit.
Definite
All right.
closet Post Malone fan.
Yeah, I forget that I'm old until people don't know the same music as me and like, hey, have you ever heard this? And I'm like, I grew up on it. But
Yeah.
That's a band from Heart, right? Vestigial. Or
Or
didn't you say the
Grand
drummer?
Rapids.
Did you say the drummer was from Heart?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or has
Mike?
a.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool,
Mike-
dude. That
Mike
koozie.
Miller.
Yeah.
Mike
that's
Miller.
fucking
Oh,
sweet.
Mike Miller.
Yeah.
sport. These
Yeah.
one of my favorite.
That's too
cats.
cool.
Those guys fucking rule, man.
Yeah,
They
they're
rule
great
hard.
on all fronts.
Right on.
So what's next for Dice? Just let's wrap this all up in a nutshell and let us know what's going on here.
Yeah, just moving forward,
Writing.
writing some songs,
Yep.
like trying to get what's up in our heads out
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
out in the world. Obviously we got big show at Pyramid Scheme coming up, but
Yep.
for the most part, yeah, just
Yeah.
having fun, writing, like getting it out.
Okay.
We couldn't say it any better. Just having fun
So make
is
sure
the
you
main
guys.
thing. Yep.
Oh, sorry, Tommy.
Yeah, you're good.
So make sure you guys go stream this new song. If he dies, he dies, because it's going to be out when this podcast, like right around the same time.
Right
So
here,
go
I'm holding the
stream it.
link. Right here,
Yeah,
Jay, I'm holding
yeah,
the link.
Yep.
There it is.
It'll be in his hand.
And that one too.
Go stream it. Go check out the video, which we're about to watch before you guys take off here.
All right.
So make sure you go watch the video. Leave a comment on their YouTube page. Tell them how fucking awesome it is.
Yeah, thank them for coming back.
Tell them Large Marge sent you.
Tell him.
Large Marge sent you.
And it looked like this.
And then May 4th
Yep.
at Unruly
Mod's
Brewing.
birthday.
Unruly
Modapalooza.
Yeah,
Yep.
Modapalooza is May 4th.
Yeah, we're going to
And
support
Unruly.
North Grove Brewery.
And
Support
then
North Grove.
Yep.
5/18 it dies today at the Pyramid Scheme. So get your
Right.
ass out there, get a ticket from these guys, do what you got to do.
Yep.
Get out, catch a show. You guys gonna be playing that new song?
Oh yeah.
I
If
would
you're
imagine
good.
So.
Busting wide with
By,
it.
Okay.
by the 18th.
If Nick
Oh, yeah.
Mod
There you go.
behaves, we'll play it.
Yep. Maybe,
All right,
yeah,
bud.
maybe for his birthday if he behaves. I mean, might bust it out at Modapalooza.
I feel like that's a closer tune.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus!
Sure.
Can you imagine open?
It's not an opener,
Good luck.
Nick Mod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho,
You got to be warmed up sometimes for certain things.
Don't make me cry on my birthday.
Oh, I'm
So with that
gonna
being
try
said-
so hard.
With that being said, thank you guys so much for fucking coming on the podcast. Thank you for
Oh, yeah.
supporting the show.
Our
Again,
pleasure.
Fucking,
You
you
bet.
know we love you, dudes.
Support
Fucking
our
you
brothers,
guys are-
man.
Love
You
it.
love
guys
you
are the
guys.
shit. So make sure you go check out If He Dies, He Dies, man. We're gonna watch this video, and with that being said, if you guys are good, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm glad I finally got in this room.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
seen it
Same
so
here.
much on the internet.
Exactly. I told them I always
I'm
picture
here.
myself sitting right on this corner, so I had to sit right here.
Quick shout out to
claimed it.
Ephriam shirt, by the way.
Yeah,
Time
okay,
on the
well.
corner.
It's awesome.
Did you ever find a sleep token shirt?
Yeah, I just made that up that I lost it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Well, I told you I lost it, but then I found.
forgot about that.
I just made that up.
I told you I lost it, and then I found it immediately, like an ass.
He goes,
And
I'm
then
going to
I was
make
like,
Jay feel like
no, I
guilty
wanna-
for
yeah.
like taking it or,
Yeah.
or something like that.
I was
Yeah.
like, no, I want to make it a thing. Like people put out the bat signal, find my shirt.
I was like, I
No.
won't let you lose that.
Oh,
It
that's
was there.
funny, dude.
So, all right.
Immediate panic.
With
mode.
that being said, y'all, appreciate it. Keep it metal. Peace.
Thank you guys.
You bet.
Thank you so much for checking out the episode. Be sure to hit that like button and give us a share.
Yeah, and if you enjoyed our podcast today, please give it a rating on your streaming service to help us gain some exposure.
And if you really enjoyed the show, please give us a follow or hit that subscribe button and come hang out with us every week. And remember, keep it metal.